Video is an art form, but it's also no secret that video can help you grow your business, especially when it's used strategically. It's 2026. People are online more than ever before, and they trust just about anything that's filmed in 4K because they know that you're putting care and intention behind your brand or business. And I know because I started my business in 2024 because I saw how big of a gap there was between the brands and businesses that were capitalizing online versus the ones that weren't, the ones that were falling behind with inconsistent brand image, not utilizing the platforms effectively, and just falling short. And I saw an opportunity for myself to help those brands or businesses come online and really tell their story and connect with their audience and capture what they do and make it look super freaking cool. Because ultimately the whole reason I started making videos because I loved making ski videos and pranks with my friends. I wanted to make videos that were funny and cool and moved people emotionally. And I saw an opportunity. Hey, wouldn't it be cool if I could get paid to do that every day? So I started working for these local places, these pizza shops, even a vape shop, a local cannabis company, these different people that needed help to optimize their online presence. But ultimately what I realized is it's not just a service that videographers, video production companies like myself are rendering. Video is not just a service. Video is an art form, and it's very difficult for video professionals and creatives to sell their art. That's why there's so many starving creatives, starving artists in the world, because it's difficult to put a price on your art, on your creation. And that has been a major learning curve as I've grown my business and gone from just creating social media content in the beginning to developing full creative campaigns for our clients, because now I can see the return on investment for the people that we're developing these campaigns for. But still, there's a problem with monetizing your art. People ask you, what's your rate? How much does a project cost? Like, what are your packages? And it's difficult. Even with these video first creative campaigns we're developing with our clients, people are still asking, what's your rate? How much is the package? What does a video cost? But they don't understand what actually goes into creating this art, because there's a big difference between creating a little social media reel with your iPhone and developing a 30-second ad spot for a major brand. Because what goes into the market research, the pre-production, the crew sourcing, the actual day of production, the gear that needs to be rented to actually develop this campaign is so much higher than it is to just take out your phone and film a silly little video. But we also see taking out your phone and filming a silly little video is an art form in itself, with the rise of these influencers online and this UGC content that is performing so well. But now this phone content is performing even better than the professional content, sometimes because people feel like they're being spoken with rather than spoken to. And that's powerful, and that's something I wanted to bring into the video campaigns that we're developing. Because ultimately, when I started creating these videos, I didn't want to do just haphazard social media content. I didn't want to put closed captions on things for people and ship it and call it a day. I want to create art, and I want to work with people that want to create art, mini documentaries about their brand. I want to tell their story. I want to dive into what they've learned throughout their journey of entrepreneurship and founding a company. I want to understand what makes the brand tick. I want to understand the values and the mission of the brand. And I want to be able to put that into pieces of art, films, case studies, testimonials, brand story videos that are able to move their audience and move their brand in a direction to grow their brand, to increase their authority, to build trust with their audience. But also I want to do it in a way where I can collaborate and learn from these people that I'm working with. And now I've gotten that opportunity as I work with higher level campaigns with large cannabis processors in the state of New Jersey and the state of Michigan. I work with nonprofits like the Boys and Girls Club and the ARC. I've worked with roofing companies and exterior remodeling companies, and I've gotten to understand and see into all these other industries, and I've gotten to put my own spin, my own artistic vision into who they are, what they do, why they do it, and create assets for them to utilize long term. Because what we need to understand is that video is not something that we should just film a video and then post it once online and have it expire and never do any work ever again, because I see that's a huge problem with a lot of videographers and marketing agencies. They're They're just creating content, because content is what's working right now. We're creating video assets that are speaking to the ideal customer within these higher ticket industries in a way that appeals to them, that is rooted in storytelling, that is speaking directly to them. Because I just imagine receiving a video from a client, from a prospect, and it's speaking directly to me. They understand my problems, they understand my pain, they understand what I need, but it's a Netflix grade quality video that they made just for me. And that's what I want the people that are watching our content to feel. It's super tailored, it's super strategically crafted towards these ideal customers. Think about it. If you need a new roof on your home and it's a scary time, you want to understand what somebody's going to come. They're going to rip your whole roof off your house. That's a scary time to be alive. That's a lot of money. That's a $15,000 potentially or more up front that you're going to need to pay for a new roof. You want to be educated on the front end. So we've created a video campaign with our roofing client to educate people up front, to put a face to the sales agents that are going to come in these people's kitchens, and we tell them the process. We show them it's going to be okay. We tell about the services they offer and how the process actually works, and we build the emotional appeal, and we root it in your friendly neighborhood contractor, the only one that you should be calling when you have a problem with the exterior of your house. And campaigns like that one that we developed for our client-proven contracting that speak directly to their ideal customer are super impactful because it brings people's walls down. It accelerates the sales process. It builds authority and trust on the front end so that these sales conversations in these higher ticket industries are with much less friction, right? We're alleviating friction in that sales process. And I've found and seen how valuable that really is. And why it matters to me so much and where we fit in now is because I have a passion for learning about these businesses. I love asking questions. I've been a curious kid my entire life. I wanted to understand how everything works. And now with a video business, a creative agency over here, I can learn about all of these industries. I can learn about this business and that business. I can see the process and how it works. I can pick out pieces, and it's just intriguing to me because I'm able to implement this from this business or implement that from that business. I see the crossover and the correlation between alternate industries, and I'm able to gain experience from this and be able to offer that experience to another one of my clients in the future. And that's why I love this video business, because it allows me to create art and learn in all of these other facets and all of these different ways of life and businesses and industries. And it's ultimately just super intriguing and invigorating and inspiring for me to help other people tell their story. Like, let me put it on film. You deserve it to put it on film. And that's what I tell people, is because they've worked so hard to create this thing. We can put that on film. We can highlight their customers. We can highlight their team, because this thing that they've built, and it's bigger than themselves, it ultimately now is at the stage where we can put it into an art form, and we can speak to a specific person, and we can have a lot of fun with the way that it's created. It's going to be something that you're proud to show your family and your team. And that's why I love doing this. I love the smiles on the back end when the project is done. I love to see people sharing it all over social media. I love the fact that when I return to a client maybe 2 years later and I see the video still on their website, and I'm like, wow, like, how is that thing working? And they're like, wow, we've gotten so many views on it. People loved it. People come to us and they say, wow, I saw your video beforehand, so I felt like I knew you guys. And that's my goal, because I am asking the questions on the front end. My understanding of these businesses that we're working with ultimately is what conveys the message on the back end in these video assets that we're producing. And yes, we're not only just doing major brand films for these businesses, we're creating other types of content like testimonials, we're creating ad campaigns and social media content, but the root of our campaigns have been rooted in storytelling. They've been rooted in creating these pieces of art that ultimately people can use for years on end, and that excites me, and that's enthusiastic. But ultimately, there is this unspoken sort of discrepancy between videographers and other creatives that it's tough to monetize your art, and it has to be done strategically in the way that I'm talking about here, because you can't just sell art to businesses because they don't need it. they don't need just art. What they need is they need results. So if you can create art that can also create results for your businesses, like I've done with Quantum Creations and like we continue to do as we grow and expand and increase our impact, that's ultimately what the vision is, what the goal is, and that is going to be massively impactful. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you got some value out of this, hearing about my story, hearing about how we utilize art to help grow our clients' businesses and why it means so much to me. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on the flip side. There's a bunch of other videos down on the channel below. You can learn a bit more about me, my personal life, but also about the business. So appreciate you being here. So much love, so much peace. Ciao.